So America elected a grapefruit as president on Monday, right? Like that actually happened. Like this is real. The last few days I've been kind of trying to like wake myself up from this nightmare, but I can't because this is like literally happening. Like this is real. When people say like, "Oh yeah, I'll do that when hell freezes over," or like when Jesus' second coming, or like when the devil comes down to earth. He's here. The devil is here. Hell has frozen over. God, God's not coming. Like he's abandoned us. He don't care. Yeah, you can't even use those phrases anymore because it's happening. Like this is hell on earth. Like it's here. This is how did we get here? White people have elected Donald Trump as our president for the next 4 years. I'm really hoping that this is like a. I'm really hoping that this is a joke. Like I really just am waiting for Ashton Kutcher to come out and be like, "Bitch, you've been pawned, hey," but it's not happening, and I need it to happen right now because this is a no, 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 and no. Okay, no, I don't accept this. I rebuke it. So I don't really want to sit here and talk about how terrible Donald Trump is because we all know. I mean, well, I thought we all knew, but apparently not because here we are. But we've the internet and the webs we've all talked about how terrible Donald Trump is and what this means and how nobody feels safe and blah 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 blah. So I don't really want to just repeat everything that everybody has been saying. So really, I'm just gonna share a few things of my thoughts watching this entire election season. I don't really talk about elections very much just because I don't really give a fuck what your opinion is, and you're not going to change my opinion. And I hate having these fucking debates about who you need to vote for, you need to go do this, and blah, 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 blah. So I don't really talk about elections. But I'll make this exception because this is fucking ridiculous. So just a few thoughts for me about this whole thing. Number one, why people this is y'all's fault. Okay? This is your fault. Point blank and period. The numbers don't lie, sweetie. You guys are the majority in this country. If every single brown person in America went out and voted, you would still outnumber us. Therefore, it is your fault. And before you want to get your fingers fixed to type in here, sweetie, I'm gonna need you to go look at the fucking numbers because 58% of white people voted for this man. Like less than 8% of black people voted for Donald Trump. And I would also like to point out that 94% of black women voted for Hillary Clinton. So all y'all who are talking about black people don't vote. Bitch, but back to white people. This is y'all's fault. And I'm gonna put this link down in the description box. I was reading through the exit polls yesterday, and it was very interesting to go down and read all the categories that they record. And it literally was like white people with no education, white people who are conservatives, white people who are evangelists. Like it was just like all the stereotypical things that we've been talking about. It's literally true. It's like back of the neck, back of the woods, redneck, dumbass, conservative, uneducated white people who are voting for this man, which says a lot about this man, right? Okay. Another reason I bring up this white people's fault is number one, y'all always like to try to blame everything on blacks and Latinos, even if it's not our fucking fault. So slow your roll there. And number two, I know y'all gonna try to put out these think pieces about, how not all white people and blah blah blah. But sweetie, numbers don't lie. It's y'all's fault. Okay. So the only people you have to blame is yourself. Secondly, white feminists, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like for real, like, this is why nobody likes white feminists. White feminists don't even fucking like white feminism. What the fuck are y'all doing? 66% of white women voted for this man. Why? Have you even listened to anything? He literally has 2 open sexual assault cases right now, not to mention child molestation. Like, and he don't fucking care about reproductive rights. He literally he hates women. And yet 66% of you are like, hey, let's go vote for him anyway, right? I mean, who needs rights? Not us. Definitely not people of color. I mean, who cares about we don't care about them. We kicked them out way back in the 1920s. But like, well, what are you guys doing? This is why nobody takes your fucking movement seriously because you guys are fucking stupid. Like, you guys don't even care about the progression of your own fucking people. Like, I don't, like, I never really took white feminism seriously before, but after this, like, y'all are completely, like, canceled, like, blocked. Like, I'm not even fucking acknowledging people exist anymore because what the fuck are you doing? Who are you fighting for? But And also, I would like to bring up, since I'm talking about white feminism, leading up to this whole election, I kept seeing all these articles about Susan B. Anthony and, oh, fight for the feminism, and, Susan B. Anthony will be so proud, and blah, blah, blah. And Susan B. Anthony was a bitch ass racist, homophobic, transphobic bitch ass motherfucker, okay? Like, cool, yeah, she hoorah rah and marched on the front lines for white people, but bitch, that don't fucking mean nothing. She was basically the fucking creator of white feminism. Who the fuck cares? And I guarantee you, all y'all people who was worshiping Susan B. Anthony also went out and voted for Trump. So what does that say about you and Miss Susan bitch ass Anthony? Is that y'all are fucking irrelevant ass bitches. You're dumb, okay? So fuck y'all and fuck Susan B. Anthony. The next thing is y'all need to shut the fuck up about third party voters. Like, I'm so sick of hearing y'all, oh, this is all third party voters for. No, it is fucking the people who voted for Donald Trump's fault. It's white people's fault. Third party voters did not make enough difference to swing it either way. The overwhelming majority of third party voters voted for Gary Johnson, which actually means that votes were taken away from Donald Trump, which actually lowered his chances of winning. So what the fuck are you guys talking about? Secondly, I find it really interesting that the same taxes that I've seen these third party vote, like fucking harassment people use, are the same exact like fear mongering and shaming tactics that Donald Trump uses. People should not have to be forced to vote for the lesser of two evils. People should not have to vote for people who still threaten them and their literal existence of being. We don't need to do that. There's no reason that somebody needs to be guilt tripped into voting for somebody who literally would not give a shit if they dropped dead in front of them right now. So all of you people who sit here talking about shaming third party voters, like, seriously, go fuck yourself. Everybody wants to sit around and just vote for, oh, this is good enough. Some people want change. And we all know that the third parties are not going to win today, but it's a progression. The whole point is that we're getting there, right? We don't need instant change. And I'm sorry, but whichever way you want to cut it, sweetie, Hillary was not going to win. Hillary ran a shitty fucking campaign from the get-go. She didn't go to important states that she needed to win because they historically vote Democratic. So she just felt, with her arrogance or her ignorant ass, that she just didn't need to go there because, I'm Hillary and they're just going to vote Democratic anyway. And how did that work out for you, Hillary Boo? Maybe you should have spent less time whipping and nay-naying and, trying to sing Beyonce and pretend like you keep hot sauce in your bag and doing more time actually fucking promoting yourself and talking about changes and stuff that you was going to actually do. Might have actually worked out in your favor, but hey, guess not. It wasn't going to happen. Hillary wasn't going to fucking happen. Y'all need to stop blaming people for voting for their better fucking interests. If you want to blame somebody, blame the people who literally voted for Donald Trump. Regardless of third party votes, protest votes, no votes, whatever, that percentage was so small, it wouldn't have made a fucking difference anyway. The majority of America voted for Donald Trump because they wanted Donald Trump. Those are the people that you need to blame, are the people who actually wanted him in office. So they got him in office. And even if that wasn't the case, how the fuck do you explain all the people who voted for fucking Republicans in the House and Senate? People wanted this to happen, so it was going to fucking happen. I still don't really believe that Donald Trump actually wants to be president. Like, I really don't. And I haven't felt like he has wanted to be president since he started this campaign from the get-go. Like, I really believe that he started this thing as like all fun and games or maybe for business or whatever it was. And then America took it seriously because America is a bunch of dumbasses. And they were like, oh, look, we can finally have racism and sexism out in the open again. So let's vote for this man. And ever since then, he just like has not figured out a way to like get out of it. I don't believe that he wants to be president. I don't. Maybe he like likes the title of president, but I don't think he actually really wants the responsibility of being president. I really don't. I truly don't believe. His own son took a picture of his voting, his ballot, like his vote, and posted it on Twitter. And that's literally a federal crime. His wife plagiarized Michelle Obama's speech. When he went up to do like his victory speech, if you look at literally all his family on the side, they all were like, oh, geez, dear God. Oh, no, what did we get ourselves into? Like, I don't believe that every single one of his family members and himself are that fucking stupid as a unit. I don't. I really, truly believe they got themselves way in too deep than they thought they were going to, and everything they have done up until now was like a cry for help for somebody to stop them. For somebody to be like, oh my God, y'all, this is ridiculous. Don't vote for this man. But then America and their racist, sexist, transphobic, homophobic ass values just floated to the surface, and they were like, what a great opportunity to bring back slavery, segregation, and oppression. Like, this is fantastic. This is great. Green light. And now he just doesn't know how to get it. I'm really hoping that between now and January, like, he just decides to step down, or just I don't know, but I really don't believe that he wants to be president. The last thing I want to talk about is, what do we do now? Like, what do we do? White people got this fucking Cheeto elected, and unless he dies between now and January, we're stuck with him. So what do we do? Do we need to impeach him? I mean, we can try to impeach him, but at the same time, if we impeach him, that means that Mike Pence takes over, and Mike Pence is worse than Donald Trump. So what do we do? How are we going to organize ourselves to protect ourselves against the bullshit that is more than likely about to come for us? I mean, I know we're going to have rights taken away for pretty much every group that isn't a straight white male. So what are we going to do? How are we going to organize ourselves? I mean, I personally am down for Black Panther Part 2. Like, I've been ready for this. I don't even know what we're waiting for. So, like, my question is, what is our action? Like, what are we going to do next? What are we doing about this? And we need to do more than marching. I know everybody just loves to go out and march because it's so easy to do, and it requires zero planning and has no goals. But honestly, like, there's no point in marching in 2016. The only reason we did marches back in the day was because we didn't have media and internet like we did, so we needed media attention. We have media attention 24/7. We have the tools to create our own narrative and put out our own stories. We have so many outlets to do that now. There's no reason for us to be marching. We do that. I feel like people march just because it's easy, and I understand people are angry, so the first thing they can do is they can run on the streets. It's easy. And I'm not discouraging people from marching, but we need to do more than just march. So what are we doing? What are our plans? What are we doing in our communities? What do we need to do to come together and actually make sure that we are protecting ourselves from literally going back into the fucking fields? Because that is not something I am able to tolerate. And I'm somebody who's about action. I don't like to just sit around and wait to see how much pain and suffering we can endure, because I see all these people posting and tweeting about, oh, we've survived slavery and Jim Crow laws, and we've survived so much worse than this. But I don't know about you, but I am not trying to see how much pain and suffering I can endure. I would rather get out there and get ahead of the problem so that we don't have to suffer. And I don't really know the answer to this question, what we do. I'm trying to think and study and figure it out myself, but I'm just putting it out there. Like, what is it can we do as a community? And not just the Black community. Yes, we do need to have the Black community as our own thing, but also for other minorities, for Black women, for trans people, for women of all colors, because it's all going to fall down on us, and we're all going to be in a shithole. So how do we come together both as individual communities and together as one whole group of minorities? What are we going to do to help ourselves and to protect ourselves so that we're not out here literally starting the Civil War #2? Because the way things are going, this is gonna happen, like, dead ass. So what are we doing? What are we doing? What's next? What's the next step? I don't, people's actual lives are at risk, and I personally don't want to, and I don't want anybody else to have to live in fear, looking over their shoulders for the next 4 years until 2020. Like, that's ridiculous, and it should not need to happen. So what are we doing? What's our next step? Somebody help us. God, Allah, whoever. Satan. I'm ready to turn to Satan for help. Come on. So anyways, that's basically my input on this whole bullshit of an election. Stay strong, everybody. Don't forget to do some self-care, like seriously self-care. Log off. Take care of yourself physically and mentally. Don't check out. I really had to pull myself up because the last 2 days I have been in bed eating junk food. Just like going down a depression hole. But like, I really had to just pull myself back up today and get back into my regular life routine. So really seriously do some self-care and keep your mental and physical health #1 priority. And then, we'll figure this out as we go. We always do. So stay strong, guys. Love you. Bye. TV shows, as soon as anything comes out, it's automatically, oh God, there's this one thing that they did this and it's problematic. It's trash. Throw it away. But it's like, if 90% of the material was perfect and there's just this one thing, is that really enough to just disregard all of it because they made one mistake?